Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about how you can score a 1500 or above on the SAT test, realistically. So I went from a 1220 to a 1530 on the SAT test, and I just wanted to talk about my journey taking the SAT and giving you guys resources and tips along the way. So let's just get started. I first gained exposure to the SAT in 9th grade, and I didn't really care. I was a happy-go-lucky 13-year-old kid, but I was forced to take a diagnostic test for the SAT in 9th grade. And I did it at a prep place. First off, I just want to say, in my opinion, it's a waste of money. Do not go to one, and I'll tell you why in a second. So I went to this prep place. I took the SAT test, and I scored a 1220. All the administrators immediately sat me down with my mom and they said, okay, this child needs help. She can't read nor can she do math. Like, really? Especially if you're that young, you're in 9th grade, it doesn't matter what your score is because there's a lot of math concepts that you haven't learned yet. And if you haven't done higher level math, then like obviously you don't know how to do some of the questions. Like, why would a 13-year-old know what a radian is? I mean, at least I didn't know what a radian was. So honestly, in my opinion, you should take the SAT when you're older because you'll know more of the materials better, like math concepts, and read a lot more archaic novels or whatever in your classes. So the SAT will just come easier and you won't have to study as much. But again, there are pros and cons to both. If you take it when you're younger, then you don't have to worry about it later and you can spend more time doing other stuff. But I digress. So I took the diagnostic test and I got a 1220. And honestly, I just set it aside. So I was set to take the test in October 2019. I was 16, so October 2018. Can't believe I forgot what day I took the SAT test. So I put it off until August of 2018 to start studying. Again, like I said, I feel like you study a lot less for the SAT when you're older. So yeah, I only took 2 months in the beginning of the year, kind of I started in summer and I went all the way till October to study. And I used this book, the official SAT guide. And I'm just gonna flat out say, do not buy this. It's a waste of your money. Yes, there are 8 real SAT tests, and I'm pretty sure now there are 10 real SAT tests that the College Board released, but you can get those for free online. So there's no reason to buy this because you get all of this for free online. And all the answer explanations that are in here are also on Khan Academy. In addition, there are pages in the front of the booklet not booklet, this is like a dinosaur of a dictionary. All these pages before the practice tests are just explanations of what are you going to expect on the SAT, and there's no point in priming yourself for the test. Just take it. So the one tip I can give is to take a bunch of free practice tests that you can find. I will link a description to free practice tests that I used. There was a Reddit page that had a bunch and it had answers to them as well. And there were a couple other free online websites that I used. I'll link a few if I can find them again. I also used this book by College Panda. It was helpful because if you're not too strong in English, then this will help with your grammar skills and all that. Again, I really liked the practice tests in the back. They really helped with timing. So basically, how I scored 300 points higher was by doing all of the practice tests that I have on the official guide and doing a couple more from online. So I did probably around 16 to 20 practice tests in the course of 2 months. And the most important part was figuring out why I made the mistakes I made on the tests and writing my mistakes down and then figuring out what the right answer is and then writing down why this is the correct answer. And so once you get into that habit, you'll kind of figure out like how the test makers are writing the test. You get what I'm saying? Like, the College Board isn't going to be hiring new test makers every single month, you know? It's going to be the same few people. They have the same brain. So with that logic, you kind of know that they're going to be writing the same type of questions and answers to the test, even though there's different content that you're reading or solving. The general questions and the answers you can kind of just predict. After you've taken enough practice tests, you'll kind of see the patterns. But it's absolutely 100% necessary for you to figure out why you got certain questions wrong and how to correct them. So that's essentially how I scored 300 points higher. And I just wanted to point out that I also did a private prep class like a year before I took the SAT test. And boy, let me tell you, it was absolutely useless. These are just my honest opinions. Do not be offended. I mean, just in my personal experience, it was absolutely useless. It was during a summer break or during some break, and I took this prep class from the place that initially said I needed desperate help because I scored a 1200 on the test. I went to this prep place, and every single day we were just writing SAT tests from 9 a.m. to lunchtime, and then from lunchtime till late afternoon we would just be correcting our mistakes with teachers. You're essentially paying these prep places to hire teachers who are just going to regurgitate the answer explanations that are already provided for you in the answer key. And if I was ever confused, I would be like, Mr. Bob, I don't understand why I got this question wrong. And Mr. Bob would usually say like, well, this is the right answer because I can just feel it. It just sounds right. And I'm just like, thank you, I guess. Like, I don't feel it. Or they would just regurgitate the answer explanation that was already provided on the answer key. So that wasn't very helpful. And at the end of the prep thing, it was like a month long or something, I only got like 10 to 30 points higher. Like, it was a waste of my time. It was only after I started studying by myself 2 months prior to my test where I made that big jump from of 300 points. These are just my 2 cents. So I hope this was helpful. Please like this video, subscribe, and comment down below what other videos you want to see. I read all of your comments and I try to reply to all of them as well. So yeah. I hope you have a nice rest of your day. Don't stress too much about studying. And yeah, I'll see you next time.